So I just finished recording a little part of a video where I talk about the season finale of Fear the Walking Dead and the season premiere of Dead City. But I am so excited to talk about the ending, like the very, very end of the episode, the last scene, that I thought I'm going to make a whole separate video and I'm going to talk about it. And it's kind of, the video itself, this video is Alicia alive? Now, I was going to do this video, because we've been speculating this back from season 7, and then in season 8, there was an episode, something happened where we realised there could be some kind of cure or some way to stop the infection with radiation. And now we come to the last episode and there is an ending scene. So what I want to do is just quickly talk about season 7 and what we saw, and then I want to describe the situation we saw at the end of the episode, just to recap you, or maybe you're not aware. I mean, I'm sure you probably watched the episode before this, but if not, I would recommend watching the last episode of season 8 so far, season 8 episode 6, before you watch this. But so season 7, we saw that Alicia kind of was fighting the infection for a long time, and she clearly wasn't dead and didn't seem like she was dying. She seemed like she was either dying very slowly or her body was maybe in fighting the infection. The last scene we ever saw of her, she was awake, she had passed out, and she woke up, and she felt fine, and she just walked back into the radiation with a mask on, and she wanted to help people that maybe she had brought over to the tower before it had exploded, and she wanted to warn people to tell them to stay away. And that's what we saw of her in season 7. And then we jump to season 8, and we learn that radiation can help the infection, which for Alicia fans, I mean, I'm sure we were all so crazy about that. Like, we realised that Alicia had radiation in season 5 and season 7, and she clearly hadn't died. She hadn't taken enough radiation to kill her. And so it seemed as though, like, when she got bit, she already had enough radiation to stop the infection, or enough to fight the infection, and therefore, the last time we saw her, she generally wasn't dreaming or wasn't dead. She actually was alive, and she was able to fight the infection. Season 8 then takes us on a little bit of a ride, where Finch then needs some more radiation. It seemed like he hadn't had enough, and even though he was fine for a little bit, his condition destabilized. And then it leads even more questions, like, is this actually a possible, like, cure? Or is it just slowing down the infection or making people feel okay for a bit longer? Or was it just that Finch didn't have enough radiation and this is the right way to go? It just wasn't executed well enough. And then the very final scene in season 8, this is what happens. So, this person writes down coordinates on a sheet of paper. Madison's on the radio. And this person writes down coordinates, and you can see their hair. And their hair, I wrote, it was blonde or very light brown. I don't know what hair colours are what, but it was light. It wasn't dark. It was light. And they wrote down the coordinates. They had a watch on. It was kind of gold, but it looked like a woman. I think it was a woman. I don't think it was Strand. I would say it was Luciana from what it looked like, but it might have not been Luciana. I have no idea. But they went and got a map. And they also picked glasses off the table, which the glasses look like Strand's, but I might be wrong, but they look like Strand's glasses, which just makes the situation even more crazier. Or, linked to the next part I'll get to in a sec, they grab a hammer, and I don't know if this means anything, but there's a small log on the table, so I don't know if they've been crafting a place to stay or what they've been doing, but there was a small log on the table, they just ignore it anyway. And then the biggest part, they grab Alicia's arm. And I am just filled with questions about what this is about. Like, they grab Alicia's arm. I have no idea what's going on. They put the arm back in the bag, and then they walk off, and that is the last scene of the mid-season finale in Fear the Walking Dead Season 8. So, it's crazy, because it's like, do we know this person? Because, you know, I thought it looked like Luciana, but where are they getting Alicia's arm from? Like, Luciana went that way, and Alicia stayed here, and Luciana went that way. So, you know, unless she double-backed, and then Alicia's dead, and then got her arm, and just then got Madison's radio message, and decided to go over to Madison. I don't know. I guess that's possible, but ridiculous, but I wouldn't put it past the showrunners. We're not putting anything past. Any crazy ideas might happen. Is it someone we know? Like I said, you know, it might not be. Or maybe it's some new person who has met Alicia. And maybe Alicia has a new arm now. And so that's her old arm. And this person maybe is going to say to Madison, I know where Alicia is. Or, I'm so sorry, but Alicia's dead. Maybe that is her arm and Alicia did actually die on that beach. And someone's wandered up to it, found it, heard this radio message, and is now going over. But the glasses, if they're Strand's glasses, then this person probably would have been around the tower, would have found some people's belongings. You know, the person had two arms, as I saw, so that's why I assume it isn't Alicia. And it's why I assume it's not someone, like, they're not using the arm. So, who could it be? And then, obviously, we have to think, is it possible Alicia's alive? With the evidence we've been given, is it possible that the radiation was enough to save her? Or maybe did she take her arm off on time? And because her infection wasn't as strong, the radiation was able to do it. Because obviously Finch couldn't have anything taken off him because he was bit, the neck, I think, or there, like, anywhere here. So we couldn't chop anything off, but Alicia could chop off her arm. So maybe she had a little bit of the infection and the radiation she had was enough. So maybe radiation is only a possible cure if you get a little bit of the infection, not the full thing. You know, and one thing, the final thing I'll say about the situation, that I think is a possibly good thing, is I think it will give us a conclusion on Alicia's situation, whether she's dead or whether she's not, because I would be very upset if we didn't get any kind of conclusion. But this clearly seems like someone, like, it would be ridiculous, but again, I should mention it because we shouldn't put the idea past. It would be ridiculous if someone just found the arm and, you know, Daniel sees them and says, where'd you get that arm? And they just say, I just found it here. I mean, I guess that wouldn't be the most ridiculous thing, because maybe then they could go to the place where they found the arm and see if they knew where Alicia is, or if she's still there, or I don't know, but I'm assuming the person that has the arm knows Alicia. Like, I'm putting a lot of emphasis on the arm, but it's a very, very important factor. Like, I can't see them just doing that, like, showing the arm, because it even takes a couple seconds. They grab it up and, like, move it. Like, they're trying to make us see the arm. It's a big deal. And Strand's glasses as well, what I think is Strand's glasses. But yeah, I think it will give us a conclusion on Alicia's situation. You know, whether they just sit there and say, I knew Alicia, she died, or this is Alicia's, yes, she has a new arm, or like, I don't know. Maybe that is Alicia we saw, and maybe she has like a prosthetic arm that looks so real that, you know, I don't think it is Alicia, but I don't know, I just need to mention it. But yeah, honestly, it's a situation that we probably won't figure out until we see the next trailers or until we actually see Season 8B. But I'm excited to know that at bare minimum we should get some closure on whether Alicia is dead or alive. And again, it's not impossible for Alicia to return. We've all seen The 100. Well, we haven't, but I've heard, I'm watching The 100, but I've heard that we see Alicia or Lexa again, whatever. So, look, I wouldn't put Alicia Demencari to come back and return for a role or something to finish with, or I don't know, like S7-S8, I think they finished that, which is what she was filming. I think they finished filming that, so maybe she'll come back. I don't know. I'm sure there'll be more information possibly coming out, more trailers, more things to dissect, some ideas and things that I've maybe missed off, so please let me know. But do you think Alicia's going to be alive? Thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.